staff members here, especially our counselors, office staff, support staff, Mr. Riggs, for getting these awards, and Mr. Battaglia for helping to plan an awards assembly like this that's in person. With everything going on, it was just a lot of stress, but they really wanted to try to do everything we possibly could to honor you as our awesome 8th graders and to send you off with a positive memory and a recognition of all your hard work. So if you appreciate your teachers here, your staff, give it up for them. Pause and receive some authentic recognition from teachers who really care about you and are going to remember you for a really long time. Take that with you and know that when you go to your next chapter, keep making a difference. Keep doing your best, knowing that the legacy that you leave behind is lasting even longer than your time. So without further ado, I want to introduce my partner in crime, Miss The Boss. Couldn't do it without her. Give it up.
So many things canceled this year, and I will say it's your teachers that really were instrumental in saying we have to do something. We have to do something to recognize these kids. We cannot let them leave Bidwell not having our traditional award ceremony. So I'm very thankful to all of you guys and our counselors who worked tirelessly to make sure we did something to honor you guys. And to start out with, it is my pleasure to be able to present the Senate Award. I love doing this every year. And when students get to reach this potential, it's always admirable. And it's because the Senate Award goes to 2 students, a boy and a girl, for academic achievement. And these students had to have had a continuous 4.0 GPA their entire time that they were here at Bidwell Junior High School. In our current times, that has been really, really tough to achieve. Some of you know exactly what I'm talking about. School has not been ideal, but you guys have risen above it. These 2 in particular, because they had that 4.0, the highest in our school in 7th grade on our state test, and that's quite an achievement. So, pretty cool. So, they're very excited. These 2 students, I'd like them to come up and get recognized. That would be Amelia Melanchak.
Hey there, everybody. My name is Brayden Bassani. I'm a district representative for Assemblyman Gallagher. I'm happy to be here today. I get to present 2 awards to 2 students for academic excellence and perseverance during this tough time that we've been going through for the last year. So, without further ado, I'd like to call up Joseph Simmons. He might be tomorrow, but how about Alex Wilson?
All right. The student here who earned one of this year's History Department Awards is someone I am very proud to call one of my students. Not only because of her stellar contributions in class, but also because of her strength of character. She is someone who manages to come to my class with a smile and positive attitude every day. A rarity in junior high, and even more rare because she is in my class first thing in the morning. This student is someone who never hesitates to help others in class, and she is someone who even regularly checks in with me to see how I'm doing. She truly has many impressive qualities that I appreciate. This student works exceptionally hard and has done so throughout the year. If she doesn't understand something or feels the class may need clarification on a topic, she'll be the first to ask for help. If I ever ask a question in class, I can almost always guarantee that this student's hand will be up, ready to answer. She is always on track with what we're learning. Furthermore, one of this student's most impressive qualities from a history teacher's perspective is that she gets the big picture. This student goes above and beyond in her thinking through the difficult topics we cover in 8th grade U.S. history. She asks tough questions that further the class's understanding of a topic. She uses empathy to connect with the people we study. She's willing to share her opinions on the topics we cover, and she truly understands that history is about more than just memorizing names and dates. It's about sharing people's stories. I am honored to present this year's History Department Award to Haley McGuire.
Hola. It was very difficult to choose only one student from Spanish because I always tell my classes, they ask, do you have a favorite class? And I always say no, because I don't. I don't. No, I don't. Well, the student I chose to receive the Spanish award is someone who stands out not only for her good grading class, but more than anything, for enthusiasm for learning and practicing a second language. Her positive attitude in the classroom is contagious and makes her classmates want to be around her and even ask her, how do you say this in Spanish? She's a quick learner and her ability to remember things is amazing, even with some difficult concepts like conjugating the verb to be, stem changing verbs, and the yodel verbs. Ay, ay, ay. She can properly apply what she learns in class to real-life examples. Besides being respectful to me and her classmates, responsible for finishing all her work on time, even when she was absent, she's also my assistant to clarify some concepts. For example, very quickly, first period, introducing the verb to be, ser and estar. Ay, ay, ay. There was a little bit of confusion understanding when to use ser and when to use estar. Some students expressed frustration, and she said, come on guys, we can't always translate exactly from English to Spanish or vice versa. If we translate I'm hungry from Spanish to English, it will translate to I have hungry, and that simply doesn't make sense. She would always find different ways to understand the material. I can go on and on and on and on, but I'm going to cut it short. Her positive, I can share so many good and positive things about this student, but something that I will miss the most, because I heard it every time we had class, is a phrase in Spanish that I must say it became her favorite phrase. I posted a bulletin board with Spanish common phrases and questions to use. She was the first one to find the phrase, I have a question in Spanish. From that moment on, every class meeting, I saw her hand raised to say, tengo una pregunta. I would hear the phrase at least 3 times each class meeting, maybe 4 or 5, depending on the concept for that day. Many times, I heard other students asking, how do you say I have a question in Spanish? And actually, right now, I wouldn't be surprised to see her hand right now and say, tengo una pregunta. And actually, speaking about asking questions and practicing our Spanish, I have a question. Is Ava Natalia here?
I've been so impressed with all of the work that all of our 8th graders have been doing this year, and those that have excelled in this extremely difficult time. And I am honored to present this award to a student that has been extremely hardworking, goes beyond what is asked of them in those classes, those class periods, asks questions, provides inferences, and more information to any subject we learn, including while we were learning about Lewis and Clark, and on our Bidwell Way expedition this year. So I would like to present this award to Alex Hunt.
Every year we have great students, but this year the great ones really stood out even more in the face of so many hardships. Ingenuity, online learning, masks were such a challenge even for our highest achieving students. So none of the teachers would have wished the struggles of this year on you. We are so thankful for those of you who stuck with it, had integrity, didn't settle for just passing, and gave your heart and soul each day to our classrooms. The student I chose this year is remarkable in every way. He has the highest grade in all 8 of my sections for 8th grade. He has an A+, but the student is so much more than just a high grade. As all of you, every single day he comes to my class with a smile on his face. Though I can't see it, I know it's there. He is so friendly and joyful. He seems like he is grateful to be there. He makes the adults and students who work with him feel appreciated and respected. Each day after class, he always comes up to share some unique thoughts that he has had during the class. He is not in a rush to leave because he sees his education as a privilege and values the people who are with him. This student is always raising his hand and participating. He has such great ideas and an awesome perspective on the world. He is confident in who he is and has every right to be. He has a solid head on his shoulders and seems to have such a wise understanding of what really matters. This student is well liked by his peers. I see the students always enjoying their interactions with him and appreciating his light, fun attitude. His parents have done such a great job raising him and instilling in him great character traits that will serve him for his future. I've known for quite some time that the student would win this award. His assignments, character, work ethic have been outstanding each day of the year, and I have to thank him for making this weird, difficult year happy and fulfilling. Please join me in congratulating Joaquin Aguirre.
In class, the student has been unwavering in her dedication to school. Every day she is fully present and more than willing to help others, which is not an easy task since the student has been fully online this year. She has persevered through and been incredibly helpful to me as I have had to navigate a new platform along with my students. Remarkably, we have made it through a most trying and heartwarming year of school, and Savannah Meeker is one of those people that just made each day that much better for me as an educator. Savannah is respectful, polite, and friendly, and she always aims to do the right thing and follow her heart. Savannah reached out to me early on in the semester to tell me that she loves to write quotes, inspirational sayings, and poems. A student after my own heart. I would like to share one of her pieces that she wrote during our poetry unit, and that I feel shows what a kind soul Savannah has to offer the world. So this poem's called Bella and the Old Sun. Unlike fallen leaves in the autumn breeze, she rose. She rose from hurt, she rose from shame, she rose from anxiety, rose from blame, and bloomed like a rose glossed with gold. No spotlight to steal, although her heart now made of steel, the foe now stood beside her, and she rose. She rose like a phoenix in the morn. She did nothing, not even scorn. She felt renewed and reborn. I look forward to hearing about her success in high school and beyond. And now the word goes to Savannah.
All right. I'm going to be giving out the chorus award to 2 students. And being in chorus is an interesting thing. The act of singing, the process of making music in a small amount of time and space, is such a community-based thing. It's something that can only be done for a short time and then it disappears, and the next time you come, there's a new group. It's a community. It's a community that needs to have understanding of languages, understanding of emotional threads, and understanding of shared empathy, and understanding of quality music and good voices. And these 2 students bring those voices, not only in the quality of their voice, but in the community they bring to my classroom. They have done it for 3 years and 2 years respectively, and over the course of that time, you get to know a person. especially when you're sharing in that community involvement that is so integral in a time when we have been so separated. So it is my pleasure and honor to give this award to two of the best students I possibly could have had over the last 2 to 3 years, and that's to Riley and Tyson.
So I'm here to present the female recipient of the PE Award. This student was a mid-season pickup when we had the great schedule redo of 2021. I read the scouting report from my man, Dr. Brown. The report was she was a hard worker with a great attitude, and she was ready to make the jump from the minor leagues up to the big leagues. Dr. Brown was right. Whether it's volleyball, bucketball, blitz, or even football with the homies, she loves to mix it up and compete. I have no doubt that she is going to be an asset to any school, team, or employer she decides to take her talents to. Unfortunately, right now, she's down in Southern California eating $12 churros and taking pictures of Mickey Mouse and Pluto. But this award, nonetheless, goes to Natalie Warren.
He's the male PE student of the year for 2021. And it's not just because of his athletic ability, which you all know. It's because he respects everybody in his class. He has a group of friends that he's friendly with, he respects them. But also those kids that are not in his circle, he respects those individuals and he's kind to them. This is what makes a leader. Trev is a quiet leader. He works hard every day. The kids that are behind him in the exercise lines, I see them looking at him and he's already up doing his exercise, so they pick it up a little bit. He's a good athlete, a very good athlete that works hard every day to improve. You're going to hear his name a lot in the next 4 years. Trev, because of these traits, is going to be successful in anything he does in life. Because he's a quiet leader, he respects people, he works hard, he's focused, and he's a self-starter. All right? This year's recipient, all Trev Besa.
So this is really interesting that you're doing this to such a small group of people, but it's the same as it always is. As the teachers start to talk, you notice that you guys look around, you start pointing at each other, trying to figure out who that award is being given to. This year, for the MAP award, there were a lot of you who have already received an award that definitely were in the running for the MAP award. One of the things that I like to look for when I'm looking for the recipient of the MAP award is not necessarily the smartest student, but the student who offers the most to the class. I'm looking for the students who ask questions of me and doubting my work, because a lot of times my work is wrong. I like to honor the students who ask questions because they know they don't understand what's going on, and they like to understand what's going on. Students who are respectful when they doubt my answers is something else that I like to see. Yes, I do make mistakes, but there's definitely, we all get frustrated when people point out our mistakes. So when you point them out politely, it is definitely nicer to hear. The two award recipients that I have this year, hit all of those comments that I'm talking about, and that is Chloe Harvey and Seth Smith.
I'm so happy to see you all. This year, I'm going to get choked up. I always do. Everybody knows I'm a crier. I was really sure that this class was going to come and go without me having to get choked up because I didn't really think that we were going to bond as much because of the masks and because of COVID. But we did, and now I'm so sad to see you go. But I know you're going to do really great things, and so many of you have really touched me and made me a better person, and I want to thank you for that. Okay, so I'm giving out the Boy Award today for excellence in science, and I really did have a hard time this year, harder than usual, even though some of you are going to think this was, destined from the start. There were about 10 boys who really performed at a really high level, and also were just really good humans. Spencer, Matt, Chase, Logan, Alex, Quinn, really great people with really great study skills, and who love science, and who really want to be here. And then there's Brody, Isaac, and Christian, always asking questions, always the first to help me. Mrs. Haas, that thing you posted yesterday, you forgot to make a copy for everybody. Or Mrs. Haas, that thing you posted on Google Classroom, didn't put the link on. So you might think like, well, they're always the ones, trying to correct the teacher, but in this year, we really needed help. And I super appreciated, first thing after I posted it, I know Isaac's going to get right back to me on email if I did something wrong, and I appreciate it. There's Carter, who has a quest for knowledge and really great communication skills. Jerry and Landon, who work hard. And a lot of other gentlemen who I just really enjoyed having in class and who really do make my classroom a better place, especially Luke and Lucas. But this last gentleman, that is the Outstanding Science Award for this year. Not only is he just a really great student who really thirsts for knowledge, really loves science, really asks questions, but most importantly is just a really awesome human being. I know it doesn't matter to most kids, but since October 19th, every time the bell rings, the very first person in the door, wiping down the desks, helping me, and caring how it matters to me and how it makes my day different. But he's not just that way to me, he's that way to his peers. Super helpful, always willing to help out other kids, making sure kids understand. Kids go to him for questions, just a really amazing leader. And so this year's Excellence in Science Awards for Gavin Shears.
Right, so this young woman, again, is very helpful, and again, I know you guys will think that maybe it makes a difference, but the little acts of kindness that come from you guys to us, simple things like Ms. Haas mentioned, of walking in, spraying the tables, wiping them down, asking us how we're doing, helping each other out, helping us to know when maybe something we posted didn't work correctly. Trust me, that is golden. But also, this is the STEAM Award. So for our STEAM Award in Medical Detectives, this young woman has such a good knack for it, such a good brain, always curious, asking questions. She's also got that fire and that drive to never quit. So if she doesn't find the answer right away, she tries a different way of doing it. And that fire can sometimes cross a sassy line, but that's good, because that's going to keep her motivated and that's going to keep her going. So, Miss Izzy, get down here.
I really want to recognize this group of students. They have spent 2 afternoons every single week this year getting create content for our websites and our Instagram. They are all about healthy living and mental health awareness. They run booths during the week for Mental Health Awareness Week, as well as at our mental health fair. I am so honored to have worked alongside them and seen their compassion and their action this year. So I want to present these awards to Holly Alchin and Taylor Johnson.
Junior Scholarship Federation. It's a community service honor group. These students apply to be members every semester, starting with spring of 7th grade. And these members are recognized for being members for 3 consecutive semesters. That's spring of 7th grade and then all of 8th grade here. And they are actually able to be honorary members of CSF, which is the California Scholarship Federation at the high school. So it's really nice to recognize these students because this year, like I said, has been very different. But I can't say enough about this group of students this year. They were always wanting to do more, willing to put themselves out there. Unfortunately, because of restrictions, we couldn't really do very much, but I appreciate everybody's support, showing up to meetings, just being available, and being open-minded about everything. So I want to recognize these following students for being members of BJHS. You will get a certificate and a pin. Please don't use a pin. They're very nice pins. You can put them anywhere in your room or on your backpack, whatever. But they're very, very beautiful. Make sure you show them to your parents. So the first student is Holly Alchin. Miley Bryant. Olivia Dahl. Spencer D'Amato. Ava Dunn. Jack English. Elena Hubbard. Also on, thank you for coming. Paige Leonard. At this moment, I'd like to bring back Holly Alchin and Spencer D'Amato. So these students are officers also. They put up their pins, but these students are members of, I'm looking around and so the cameras can see you. Also receiving the Mary Hero Award, the Mary Hero Award, you all know, she presented herself with a wonderful speech, not a speech, an essay, and submitted all her information. She did community services that she completed this last 2 years, and received $250 for effort, and it's a very nice award. Only 5 students in the Northern Region get it, and she was one of those 5 recipients. Spencer. I want to commend him because he ran for a different office, and it was a tie between these other 2 positions, and I said, you know what, no one ran for secretary, how do you feel about being our secretary? He's like, sure, I'll do it. So I wanted to really say thank you because you stepped up when we needed you, and I appreciate all of your guys' support, so thank you. Presidential awards, the silver and the gold. So this year was a little tricky because we didn't do state testing, right? We were like, what do we normally do when we recognize students? So we looked at your attendance. Those of you, I'm not sure if you're aware, many of you have like over 90% of attendance in this room. It's amazing, it's awesome, considering the year we had. The silver students receive a silver recognition for having a GPA of 3.5 to 3.82 with no E's or F's and 90 to 94% attendance with good citizenship. And those students will be recognized. So as I call your name, I'd like you guys to just stand up front a little bit. Ms. Jean is going to kind of tell you a little bit, and then we'll do like one whole group, and then we'll go on to the next group. So for President to Silver, you will get your certificates a little later. Due to COVID reasons, they are in the way. Okay, so the first student is Cody Eistro. Dominic Ortiz. Derek Brown. Skylar Carroll. Lawson Cooper. Leanna Benjamin. Madison Dudley. Landon Key. Brandon Hunt. Hannah Khan. Sadie Bell. Charlie Luna. And Sophia Parkman. Congratulations. We'll wait for Sophia to get down here. We do one last panoramic shot of these guys. Congratulations to the Silver Presidential Award recipients. Good job, guys. Presidential Gold Award recipients. These students were selected for having 4 consecutive semesters or more, actually, we look at 6th grade, we went all the way back, of having a 3.83 or above GPA. So these students had like, this is like one week. And you had 95 to 100% attendance. Also, I needed to look at your good citizenship because that really does make a difference on our campus. We know that, right? It's a big way. So again, we're going to be doing the same thing by calling you up, but I'm going to split you guys in half because this is a bigger group. And I will let you know when to go ahead and have a seat. So first person, Joaquin Aguirre. Holly Alton. Sophia Aronson. Lindsay Esperan. And Sydney Esperan. Brenna Berry. Ava Natalia. Lillian Bechtold. Colton Posto. Lucas Benson. Gavin Brashears. Liberty Brownsford. Mikey Bryant. Spencer D'Amato. Ava Dunn. Brian Egan. Jack English. Quinn Felder. Jack Fitzgerald. And Shannon Bond. All right, this is a big group. So, thank you all. Let Mr. Riggs get a good close-up of you guys. Thank you for being the Gold Presidential Award recipients. Go ahead. Gift card, come on in here. Stefania Gonzalez. Timothy Goodwin. Brody Gregerson. Alina Haroon. Hayden Harrigan. Chloe Hardy. Alexander Easty. Alexander Hunt. Taylor Johnson. Chase Jones. Matthew Key. Aidan Liston. Dylan O'Hara. Cynthia Lore. Brooke Moore. Angela Solorio Oseguera. Alyssa Soler. Christian Donato. Natalie Warren. And Max Wilson. Alright, so these are the second half of the Presidential Gold recipients. Congratulations for your service